Hi, and welcome to the Success Path show, where Christian business owners share their tips for success to show you how to succeed more effectively with your kingdom goals. I'm your host, Violet Detre, and I have an amazing guest today. Her name is Christa. And Christa Sutton is a mom of 6 adult girls. Wow. Nana of 10. That dog mom. No nonsense encourager, mental health advocate, coffee junkie, mental energy management coach, and speaker. Welcome, Christa.
Thank you so much, Violet, for asking me to be on today. I appreciate you so much.
Yes, and I'm really excited about, what you have to share today, because we were talking earlier about how some of the issues that you're going to address can really help people who are high performance people, really driven. They may seem really successful. They may have a lot of fruit, but so yeah, some of the issues that you're going to be addressing are really, really important to bring up to our community. But first, can you share a little bit about how you grew up and how you came to be a mental energy management coach?
Oh, I'm happy to. I have always been, as long as I can remember, absolutely fascinated by different types of personality assessments. I love them all. They're fantastic. And it was very interesting when I was able to learn. I was the only right brain kid in a left brain family.
Wow.
And so, and many of you can identify just being wired differently than your loving environment. I grew up in a very, very loving family, but being the only right brain kid with the influence of left brain parents and siblings, even though I'm the oldest, I was molded into that left brain mindset. So I was raised to do things and develop skill sets in my left brain when it is absolutely not true to me. That carried into adulthood. And really when it impacted my mental health, which started eventually to impact my physical health. I did go through a divorce. I was in a very abusive marriage. Part of the left brain is there are rules that you follow, and this is what you do, and this is when you get married, and this is when you have kids, and here's the thing: this was not something that was verbalized or held over me. It was what I, as a child, perceived. My parents are fabulous. I love them. I couldn't ask for a better mom and dad. But I carried that belief system that I developed as a kid into my adult life. And man, it kind of bit me hard. So here I am, just digging a deeper and deeper hole, developing skill sets in that left brain that continue to just take me down this path of mental health struggle, physical health struggle, to the point of, wow, I mean, just absolutely bottom of the well, to where I didn't even know who I was anymore. It was a very, very sad and long and frustrating journey that I wasn't even aware I was taking. That's the kicker. I wasn't even aware I was taking it. And my career led me, as I grew up, being a front right brainer. I love variety. I love change. I just love all the fun stuff. And so I had a very interesting up and down. I had a left brain career for 15 years, complete burnout. Complete and utter burnout at the age of, I want to say I was 32. Wow. Can you imagine that? Complete burnout at 32. So looked into, just started trying different things and landing in a role that really got me connected to through human resources. The human resources industry really got me hooked on personality assessments.
Yeah, it says that you're a personality assessment junkie.
I'm a junkie. I'm also the co-founder of Ideal Personality, which is that's the foundation of my coaching program and everything that I do to be able to help others really understand how God wired them so that they can show up and be their best selves.
Yeah.
But I didn't learn that. I didn't truly learn that until my business partners and I connected, even though I had taught about different assessments. I'd been a part of other assessments throughout my 12-year coaching career, it wasn't until 3 years ago when my business partners and I launched our assessment that I really understood, oh, wait a minute. It's not about what I'm good at. It's being open to relearning how God wired me. And from there, everything changed.
Yes.
It took time. It's been 3 years, but to have my mental health back, to have my physical health back and getting better and better and better every day. I feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel pure joy. I love what I do. I've been able to bring that real me back into my life, my relationships, all areas of my life, my business, etc. And that's what I love helping others do is, man, stress will get you. And we don't even realize it sometimes until it's almost too late.
I can just imagine how it feels not wanting to belong or not feeling like you belong. Yeah. And, also out of place and frustrated, I would guess.
Feeling wrong. That's one of the most common words when I'm talking within my circles and meeting with women is they felt wrong. Like square peg round hole wrong. And that summed it up. That really summed it up for me too.
Maybe even like God made me wrong.
Actually, I have had conversations with women who have fallen into that, what did I do? Why did he make me this way, etc. And that's a really unhealthy place to be. Yeah. Because you buy into that protective subconscious. It doesn't know what's right or wrong or good or bad. It just knows what you have established. And that's normal, even if normal is ridiculously unhealthy. Our brains are so complicated and so simple. It's just maddening and fun all at the same time.
So what do you mean by normal is completely unhealthy?
In our subconscious mind, we have these 3 little gremlins, our negative self-talk, our self-sabotage, and our comfort zone. And here's the thing, our brain has one job. The human brain has one job, protect the house. You're the house. You're the house. Well, being raised in an environment where it became normal every day for me to be the exact opposite of the way God wired me. Whatever you tell yourself, whatever others speak over you, words have power, people. Watch your words. Watch your words internally and externally. They have powers. And your brain believes whatever you put into it. Whatever you put into it, whether it's positive or negative, good or bad, or right or wrong, or whatever it is, whatever words are spoken over you, whatever words you speak to yourself, become your reality, which your brain accepts as this is the norm, this is our MO, this is what we do. Well, what if it's unhealthy? Right. What if it's unhealthy? I was raised to believe that you had a job, it was 9 to 5, you punched a clock, you showed up, this is what you do. Vacations, you can take vacations later, you can have fun later, time to play later. So here's the thing, I'm a front right brainer. I'm wired to play. My wiring dictates that I live for fun and engagement and being outgoing and communicating and connecting. Yeah. Yet I was raised to where my brain accepted, no, this is what I want you to do. This is what we've been told. Mm-hmm. So anytime I would want to go do something, my brain would pull me back, and that comfort zone, that negative self-talk, and that self-sabotage of you're supposed to be working.
That's interesting what you're saying though, Christa, because even though you try to program yourself as, what people consider normal, or, whatever the majority thought that was normal, that still the way that God made you wasn't changed. So there was like a programming put on top of that, but underneath that was actually how God made you.
Oh, yes, that never goes away. That doesn't go away. We always are going to be who we're going to be. It's being willing to recognize it. And on occasion, I do have the opportunity to connect with individuals. They'll take the assessment, and it's like, you're living in your brain lead. You're living in your brain lead. All of the components make complete sense for you. That still doesn't prevent them from burnout. It still doesn't prevent them from stress.
So
because what happened? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, you can finish what you're saying, but if we can go back to how you knew you were burnt out at 32.
Okay. Let me finish this thought and then we'll come back to that. Is even though you may be living in your brain lead, the second we're born, our brain adapts.
Yeah.
So whatever your brain lead is, you use all of your brain, or heaven help us, I hope we do, use all of our brain. And so you're going to develop skill sets. You have natural traits in other parts of your brain, just not so much as you do in your brain lead, because things in your brain lead come to you easily. They bring enjoyment. They energize you. These are things you just do naturally, and you love to do them. You get into the other brain quadrants and you've got to develop a little bit more skill set, which takes more brain energy.
Okay, right.
That is what will start to lead to burnout. I knew that I was burnt out when I was 32, but unfortunately, I fell into the category, as many men and women do. I knew I was burnt out because I was done. Couldn't get out of bed, cried when I left my job, hated getting up in the morning. And God did the most miraculous thing for me because I'm a loyalist. I would have never left that company. After my divorce, I had a phenomenal job offer. I moved to a smaller community, not a small town girl. Moved to a smaller community, didn't know anybody there. Me and my 3 girls who were kindergarten, second and third. And I was miserable. And I remember waking up one morning in September and freeze. I mean, I had to scrape the windows because everything was frozen over. I lived in Wyoming for 43 years. And I just went to that space. And those of you that have been close to or understand burnout, have been burnt out, you get this space, I hate this town. I'm scraping the windshield going, I hate this town. I hate my job. I mean, I was in the ugliest place, ugliest place. And as God would have a plan, because he knows I'm such a loyalist, that day, even though I showed up and put on the face and did my job and was really darn good at it, I got fired. Praise Jesus. That taught me 2 things. Number 1, this is what burnout must be like. Thank you, God, for your protection. Because as soon as it was so funny, my boss who let me go was crying, and I'm like, get me out of here, let's go. And I had no way to take care of my 3 kids, but I knew I wasn't there anymore, and I was happy about it. And feeling the 20,000 pounds come off my shoulder, feeling like I could breathe for the first time, not feeling trapped. And it looks differently for everybody. Everybody will burnout. It starts with stress. Yes, there is good stress. There is bad stress. But I think that on the level of stress that's acceptable so high, most of us don't even know that we're stressed most of the time. That was a big aha for me. I did not realize how stressed I was until I had my little conniption fit. I didn't understand the level of stress that I was under. Again, society has raised the bar on stress so high. It's acceptable. It's expected.
Right.
And we don't really think that we're stressed, but our brain and our body does. Our body knows, our brain knows. When you can get to a level of awareness where you can pay attention to certain things that will start to feed you information of, okay, yeah, I'm not in a good space right now, which most of us just, we brush through, we grind on, we go do our thing, and we don't think anything of it because it's part of being an entrepreneur, or it's part of my career, or part of being a single mom, or part of being fill in the blank. Is it
So
really?
that's my question, Christa. What are the dangers of burnout? Why is it so important that people not fall into burnout?
So many reasons. So many reasons. Let's pick the top three. Let's pick the top three.
There we go.
One, I found myself at the bottom of the well when it came to burnout, and climbing out of that is a very long, painful process. Anything that we can do to start to recognize our unique individual symptoms of burnout and begin to step away from that, whatever that might look like. Every single one of us have different ways to rest and to restore. That will save us a lot of pain, a lot of frustration. I completely lost my mental health. It took me decades to get it back. I have truly been in the space of mental health only for about the last 3 years.
Wow.
And physical health. Once I got my mental health back on track from being so, when burnout starts to feel normal, when you don't even know you're burnt out, you will have collateral damage, relationships, your connection with God, your business, all of it. And many times you don't see it until in some areas you may have done some irreparable damage. So that's reason number one, is that it's really, really hard to make a comeback out of that. And it does take a lot of time, a lot of energy. The second reason why it is so important for us to know the signs and see when burnout is coming up, if I did paraphrase the question correctly, is that we're not able to step into our talents. We're not able to step into our gifts. We're not able to show up and be who God has truly designed us to be if we're burnt out. And if we are not aware of our brain lead and where our talents and our gifts truly, truly lie, then we're not operating from that perspective of, I'm going to show up every day as powerfully as I can, so that I can bless others and fulfill my reason for being here.
Yeah.
Which also has dramatic impact on your mental health, which mental health, like where the mind goes, the body follows. You stay in a place of stress will attack your brain, it will attack your body. It is, and I'm not saying all stress is bad. I'm not saying all stress is bad. There's good stress. There's motivational stress. Who hasn't planned a wedding and been stressed out beyond belief? That's not bad stress. It's happy stress. We stress our bodies when we exercise. There are a lot of areas where stress is good. The adrenaline rush, the whatever it looks like for you and your own individual wiring. I love an adrenaline rush, but I don't want to live in an adrenaline rush. And that's what being overly stressed and burnout will look like. So that's the second thing. And the third thing, God put us here to live a joyful life.
Yes.
Because when you're not living in a space of joy and peace, you can't give from an empty well, and you definitely cannot share something that you don't already have. And so for those of us that want to bring joy, and we want to bring happiness and peace and all of the good things that we were put here to do, if we don't have a level of peace and joy, we can't give it. So there's the top three. There's the top three.
Wow. And so what would you say to those people that are adrenaline junkies?
Adrenaline junkies actually live in the same brain lead that I have, which in our assessment, it's called creator. Familiar with DISC, it's an I. And there are adrenaline junkies, and that's not a bad thing in a healthy space. So if you like to go bungee jumping on the weekend, awesome. If you love, like me, I figure out what I'm going to talk about in an interview about 4 seconds before we go live. Just saying. But that type of adrenaline rush is healthy for my wiring. So
you
there
have
are
to,
healthy things. Go ahead.
and you have to know your wiring.
You have to truly understand your wiring, because not other personalities don't function well with an adrenaline rush. If you take the brain lead completely opposite of what we call sequencers, which is a C in DISC, for those of you that are familiar, that's just the most well-known, so I usually use it as a comparison. I'm sorry, sequencers are not adrenaline junkies. They're the list makers, the taskmasters, the planners, the detail-oriented. They're not going to go jump off of a cliff in a bungee cord. Of course, neither am I. That's not my type of adrenaline junkie thing. Mine is quitting a business, quitting a 20-year career and going, hey, I think I'm going to make up a business. That's my adrenaline rush, and I've been doing it now I've been working from home for 20 years. So, have I been working from home? I did the math wrong. I think I was in a career for 15 years and then decided to work from home. Yeah, that math works better. Does that kind of make sense? Did that answer your question?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So can you just, in about 2 minutes, talk about the assessment that you created, and then also share your offer?
Oh, fantastic. I would be happy to. So in 2018, my business partners and I, Jamie and Marla Keller, co-founded Ideal Personality. This is an assessment. It's a 4-quadrant assessment. Many of us have taken them multiple times. What sets it apart, and all of the others are really great for what they are for. The majority of them help you identify skill sets, which is great. But again, what if what you've gotten good at isn't what God wired you to do?
Right.
Our assessment actually helps you to identify your brain lead. You're born with them. God gave them to you. This is what you love to do, traits and tendencies and behaviors. And we also, it's a 3-tier assessment. So we help you identify that. And then also your sensory preference. We keep it simple. We just do visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, but that can make a really big difference in identifying how you learn, how you show up, and how to just another layer of becoming the very best version of you. Also your introversion and extroversion, that can help me working with you to identify how you can best reserve and restore your brain energy based on all of those put together. So yeah, that's been around since 2018. We are both using it in our own individual businesses. I have my coaching program, which is Get Off the Damn Hamster Wheel. They have theirs, which is focused much more on coupleship. And my focus is, helping very highly capable and driven women avoid burnout. And so, yes, that's the assessment. I had 3 things in my brain. Sorry, I didn't sort them out. And I have come up with this is so much fun. It's a very simple, very easy, very short quiz that I call the Burnout Barometer. And this is what I love about this quiz is this will help you identify where you are on that barometer of, am I heading towards burnout? Is this something that I need to start to figure out a little bit and find areas where I'm stressed, and how does my personality fit into this? Because if I'm exhausted because I'm doing something that isn't working with my wiring, how do I change that? Now, so many people jump to the conclusion, Violet, of, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to change careers. No, no. If you love what you do, but it's burning you out, there are ways that I can help you identify how to use your energy in different ways, how to restore, when to show up, use your introversion and extroversion, leverage your sensory preference so that you can show up even better than you have been in the past, still doing what it is that you do. Now, there are many of us that get that information and realize, yeah, I got to change up what I'm doing. And that's okay too. but I'm never going to recommend that you just go ahead and quit your job and go out and try and figure out something else to do. Even though I did it, it's a little scary and crazy. But thank you, Lord, it worked out. It worked out.
Praise God.
So yes, the burnout barometer is something I have been sharing now for just a little bit, and it's been very, very fun, very informational, very enlightening, and it's free. It's absolutely free. You can find it on my website.
So generous.
Or down here. We'll go ahead and post it down here too.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the description for the burnout barometer. And I think this is really important because preventative measures are always better than having to, like you said, work backwards and try to correct things when you're already in burnout, because, I've experienced it too, and it's not fun. But
yes, again, my mom was always an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Yes, it is. She was
definitely. Right. So Christa, you're on Facebook and Instagram. Where can they best reach you on social media?
Facebook, they can find me at Christa Sutton Coach, I believe.
Yes, Christa Sutton.
And I do have a business page. I also have my personal page. And I do also have a group called Stay Off the Damn Hamster Wheel, which is a free group for those of you that might be interested in learning more. And on Instagram, you can also find me at Christa Sutton Coach.
Awesome.
Those are the two best places to find me.
Well, thank you, Christa, for being here. And follow Christa Sutton. She's an amazing person. Find out more about the assessment that she has, and also get this freebie, the Burnout Barometer. It'll really help you, and share it with others, because I see a lot of successful people out there that I believe are on the brink. So it's important to get the word out. And Christa, do you have any final words that God may be sharing with you to express to the audience?
Yeah, actually, the entire foundation of everything that I do, and the reason that even though my business has evolved so greatly in the last 12 years of coaching, the bottom line is this, is that you are okay exactly the way that you are. God designed you to be you and nobody else. It is so easy to let our human creep in and look to the left and the right. Don't compare yourself to anybody, because God took a whole lot of time, a whole lot of energy, and a whole lot of design to create you exactly the way that you are. And so just know that you're loved, you're amazing, you're special, and you are exactly where you're supposed to be, and you are who you are supposed to be.
That is beautiful, Christa. Thank you so much. And thank you. Yes, and thank you for being here. If you want more content like this, remember to subscribe, hit the subscribe below. Again, we'll have all of Christa's information in the description. Check out her link, the Burnout Barometer. And we appreciate you being here. We love you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.
Thanks a ton. Love you guys.